I found myself juggling a million things at once, and it felt like I was always a step behind. The pressure was there. I want to do this. I'm the designer, the tutor. I need to show up on YouTube. I need to film videos. I need to edit videos. It was a lot. I was mentally drained and physically worn out, and it got to a point where I was no longer enjoying what I was doing. So I did something that changed the course of my life. Like, it was one of the hardest decisions I have ever made. I walked away from my fashion business that I had poured my heart into for over 12 years. But looking back today, it was the best thing I could have done. So in 2012, I started my fashion business. I was still in Nigeria at the time. And to be honest with you guys, my business was doing really well. I was making the money. In fact, like 3 times of my monthly salary income as a registered nurse. It was really successful. But in 2016, I had to relocate to the UK with my family, and that meant I had to close everything down. But because of my love for this business, as soon as I got to the UK in 2016, I got myself a sewing machine, and immediately I started sewing for people, for church members, for a few friends. Fast forward to 2018, I wanted to reach larger audience. I wanted to share my skills, my knowledge. So I took my business online. That was when I started this YouTube channel. I started selling products on eBay. And along the line, I created digital patterns like PDF sewing patterns and even online courses. So it felt like my dream was within the reach, and like all the hard work was finally about to pay off. However, things started to shift kind of, and despite all my efforts, I was met with more challenges than I expected. I thought my passion would be enough for me, to drive the business forward, but the reality was different. In as much as I love, designing, creating sewing patterns, teaching people, sharing my knowledge, the market just wasn't there in the way I needed it to be. The market was there, but not in the way I needed it to be. I wanted more. I wanted to go into business full time. So at some point, I had to face the tough decision. I knew staying in this fashion business wasn't sustainable for me anymore. I was financially drained. I was broke. I was emotionally exhausted, physically tired, and I knew I needed something new. I needed to find a new direction, a new path that not only matched my skills but also align with what the market needed. Because if you're doing what the market doesn't need, if you're selling what the market doesn't want, you are just wasting time and energy. So I have to step away from this business I had loved for so long because I wasn't seeing the return I deserved. So that was when I decided to take my experience, my passion, and channel them into something new, something that was in demand, something that could sustain me both financially and mentally. And that was when the world of personalized printing opened up to me. I didn't make the decision to quit lightly. It wasn't about me giving up. It was about me facing the reality of a business that was draining me mentally, emotionally, and financially. And I think many people, many entrepreneurs are struggling with the same challenges I was facing in my fashion business. And I wanted to share with you guys some of the reasons why I decided to quit my fashion business. So make sure you watch this video till the very end, because I have something for you at the end of this video. So the reason number one is that my passion is not enough to keep the business alive. I always had a deep passion for fashion, but the reality is that passion alone cannot, it's not just enough when it comes to running a business. It can't pay the bills. I knew my audience. I've done my research. I knew where my audience are. I'm able to reach them, but the market simply wasn't there in the way I needed it to be. I live in the UK, and my clients here, especially within the African community, were struggling with pricing. People wanted something beautiful, but they were not willing to pay the price for the premium designs and products that I offered. And it felt like no matter how hard I tried, it just wasn't going to work. And another thing is that people wearing sewing as much. We live in a time where fast fashion, ready-made clothes are everywhere, and buying custom-made, bespoke pieces, they are not always a priority for most people, especially during winter. And for those people that love to sew, many of them, they were reluctant to pay higher prices, especially when they had cheaper alternative like taking their clothes to Nigeria or sewing it from Nigeria at a cheaper price. And I couldn't keep pouring my heart into something that wasn't bringing in enough revenue to cover my expenses. So that was when I was like, I think I've had enough. Another reason I had to walk away from my fashion business was the burnout. I love what I do, but when you are doing it all by yourself, it becomes more of a burden than a passion. I had to accept that I couldn't continue to do it all and stay sane. I was wearing too many heavy hats. At the beginning, it felt manageable, like I can do this, I can do it. But over time, it became overwhelming for me. I found myself juggling a million things at once, and it felt like I was always a step behind. The pressure was there. I want to do this. I'm the designer, the tutor. I need to show up on YouTube. I need to film videos. I need to edit videos. It was a lot. I was mentally drained and physically worn out, and it got to a point where I was no longer enjoying what I was doing. That was when I took a long break from social medias. I wasn't posting on YouTube. I wasn't on Facebook. I was nowhere to be found. And I know I'm not the only one who has been there. So many people are facing this same struggle. The work never ends. There is always something to do, always another task to check off the list. But what I learned from this experience is that you can't keep pushing yourself to the limit without breaking. At some point, you will break. It's not sustainable. No matter how passionate you are or how much you care about your work, burnout will definitely happen when you are running the show all on your own. So it was a lot for me. The reason number three was that the pressure of bills and slow revenue. I tried diversifying by offering online courses, selling digital products like the PDF sewing patterns, but the reality was that the income from this were not enough to pay the bills. My YouTube channel was growing fast. The support was there on YouTube, but the revenue was slow. While I love creating content and impacting people's life, I had to face the fact that my bills were piling up and I wasn't getting the return on my investment. And the truth is that I just couldn't keep pouring energy into something that wasn't working. It wasn't just about the money really, but it's about making a living while staying true to my passion. The reason number four was about personal life changes. So in 2022, 2023, if you followed me on Facebook, I think I shared this on Facebook at some point. I had some complications and then I had an emergency surgery that completely knocked me off my feet. I couldn't walk, I couldn't go to work or run my business for over 18 months. And that means no work, no income. All I was getting at the time was sick pay, SMP, all this penny from the government. And it wasn't enough to cover the basics. And that was a wake-up call for me at that time, that I couldn't keep forcing myself to stay in this business that was slowly draining me. And I knew it's about time to shift. Time to stop trying to make the fashion business work and start focusing on something that was not only more sustainable, but also aligned with the demand of the market. So I had to give myself a permission to walk away quietly. It wasn't about giving up. No, it was about finding something new, something better. And that was when I discovered the personalized printing business. Like I shared already in the previous video, I didn't know anything about this business, but it was like a breath of fresh air for me. Personalized printing allowed me to create unique products like what I'm wearing now without the same pressure of constantly reducing price, constantly selling myself, constantly showing up on social media even when I don't want to. And I'm able to reach broader audience with this business that appreciates and values my worth. So I design and print unique designs on t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, bags, and other accessories. And this is what I've been doing for the past 1 year that has been making me consistently over $10,000 every month. So if you are stuck in that same cycle, you are feeling burnt out every time, overwhelmed, struggling, and questioning yourself that is it even worth it? Believe me, you don't have to settle for a business that drains you. It's okay to step away. It's okay to change direction, to explore, to do something new. It's okay to find something that actually works for you. And I pray for you today that God will lead you into the right path. But if you are interested in what I currently do in my personalized printing business, if you would like to start your own printing business, I'm going to help you get started. I've put together a useful guide to help you take the first step. The link will be in the description below this video. So you can also visit my website donlarrie.com for more information, and follow me on my new Instagram page. All the links will be in the description below. I hope I have inspired you today with my story, and if you have been wondering where have I been, this is what has been happening behind the scene. And I hope you have found something helpful in this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you find it helpful, give it a thumbs up, share this video with somebody, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. Until I see you in another video, do have a wonderful day. Bye for now.